Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And I'm back with part 2 of What If Naruto had absolute control over light and shadow. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 4 more channels, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince. So sit back, relax, and enjoy them all. And if you want your What If to be done by me, simply comment on any of my latest posts and I'll jot them down for future use. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this brand new episode, guys. Start the intro. So the last part that we left off, we saw the birth of Naruto Uzumaki, but Hiruzen saw something else as he looked into those eyes, one white, glowing like light, the other all consuming in black. Years passed by as Hiruzen went to visit Naruto, who has been living out of the village ever since the incidents. Hiruzen knew a lot about the past. There were things that he kept to himself, and he had a great idea why Naruto was the way he was. The problem was, as a young child Naruto, well, people died around him. People were terrified around him. He didn't have proper control. The shadows themselves seemed to move to his command. Hiruzen classified the thing as an entire secret, locking all information away. On that day, he moved Naruto out of the village, for the village's safety and for his safety as well. Naruto has grown up away from his home, knowing people and seeing people out there. Hiruzen making sure that he still had a life. However, making sure that Naruto could properly take care of himself, at the same time learning the history of Konoha and mastering his strange abilities. Finally, after the latest report, Hiruzen decided to bring him back, as Naruto had questioned him if he was afraid of him. Thus, Hiruzen brought him back to the village. Naruto was happy. Going around, moving around the village, yes. He was happy checking it all out. He seemed rather pleased by it all. Hiruzen got him an apartment. Naruto knew that he was a nine-tailed Jinchuriki. There was a lot that he knew. Naruto was a weird, complicated child. Sometimes he talked to himself, but it wasn't himself exactly that he was talking to. Finally, he got to go to the academy, with just a few weeks left. He was a pretty handsome young man, gaining a lot of affection from the girls in his class. As Naruto enjoyed making new friends, not really having any his own age, but he was much more mature when it came to being a child. He was relaxed, he was cool, most of them said by his personality. They all were able to see him face off against Sasuke Uchiha, due to Mizuki wanting to see what he was capable of. As Naruto eliminates Sasuke rather easily. From that moment on, Sasuke became obsessed, trying to understand the secret behind his strength. Until Mizuki decided to steal his scroll after the graduation. Hiruzen had the envoys bring Naruto to him, knowing that he could get there quickly. Naruto was able to merge with almost all the shadows, so he could hear the whispers. But he went. Despite Hiruzen's warning, he went. That is where we got to see a glimpse of just how dangerous Naruto was. He didn't kill them, but he surely put the fear of God into the both of them and retrieved the scroll. Hiruzen was upset, not that Naruto, well, got the scroll and everything, but that he disobeyed his orders, as Hiruzen was always concerned about that darkness inside of Naruto. As for the bell test, Naruto proved to be something truly spectacular. As he worked with Team 7, he was able to get along with them rather well. That is when Hiruzen sat Kakashi down and told him the entirety of the truth when it came to Naruto and his abilities. A man known as Kaido Uzumaki feared the world was going to come after the Uzumakis, so he experimented on a few of the children. It is not exactly told what happened to him in the records, but Kushina was one of these children. Hiruzen had seen a shadow release before, and a light release, but these were nothing like what Naruto had. These were far more dangerous and far more scary. He told Kakashi to be careful out there because there was something that he saw when Naruto was younger. Something moving within the shadows. Hiruzen believed that in the shadows was like a separate dimension, which allowed Naruto to travel from one to another. But it was something that Naruto couldn't access yet, maybe due to his lack of experience. They still did not know the full capability of what he would be when he grows up a bit more, but he just told him to keep his eye open and watch carefully. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playcheck of yourselves as we begin this new episode. After a month and a half, Team 7 finally got something better than a D rank. Kakashi kept his word, keeping an eye on Naruto in their drills, in their training session, but he supposed that that would not bring out anything. Not that he wanted this, but he wanted to ensure that Naruto was perfectly under control. Strangely enough, Team 7 was getting along rather great. Despite the difference in their personality, they were somehow getting along. Even after losing to Naruto, Kakashi believed that would start a hateful rivalry. Except it brought out a challenge. Sasuke trying to outdo Naruto. Something was off about Naruto, not in a bad way, but he was relaxed, almost too relaxed, speaking about the dangers of the world. It did not seem to faze him in the slightest. They were a new team, so they were going to experience the world and finally see how dangerous it is behind the walls. But while the others seem to be getting themselves ready, even Sasuke, and he's already been through a lot, Naruto seemed awfully calm, a bit too calm. As they walk with Tazuna, the man in charge of building the bridge. He had insulted them in the beginning, believing that they wouldn't have what it takes to protect him, but they still accompanied him. There was a puddle up ahead. Kakashi immediately understood what that meant. This was a perfect opportunity to see what Team 7 was capable of. The moment he passed by, being the last one, he was torn to shreds. Sakura bit back the scream, realizing that this was no time to panic. If she did, they were all going to die. Her body moved on its own to protect the client, despite how scared she was. Ninja instincts perhaps. Sasuke moved in immediately, kunai and shuriken stopping the chain. The demon brothers thought that was it, and they could simply separate and attack from both sides. But before either of them could think of moving, Naruto stood behind them, right in the center. Even Sasuke was shocked, because Naruto was supposed to be a few feet away from him. Kakashi was amazed by the raw speed. The demon brothers though saw this as the opportunity. They both spun and launched their blade gauntlet towards his face. But Naruto vanished away once again, allowing Sasuke to deliver a perfect double kick to the face, knocking both brothers back. They staggered, cursing. How could a child be that fast? They questioned to themselves. Before they could balance themselves though, a pulse of energy slammed into the both of them, knocking them into the trees. They were stunned, as their vision was not able to clear up and they started to panic. It was known as the radon pulse, as Naruto emitted a burst of light energy that not only had the energy to stun and throw, but also take away their sights. It was just for a couple of seconds though, as their vision started to clear up. However, it was already over by then. Shadow erupted from the ground, similar to the Nara of the village. But this was no Nara technique. This shadow did not move straight. This shadow did not respond to hand signs. They responded to his will. They curved like hands, twisting around the demon brothers, reaching up towards them, binding every single part of them. They were strong for C-rank ninjas, but Naruto was stronger and it shows. Sasuke walked over as he proceeded to knock the both of them out, allowing Naruto to release them. Kakashi revealed himself as Naruto seemed to already suspect that he was there. Turns out that Tazuna had lied. However, Tazuna was shocked. These kids were far stronger than he thought. They continued on despite the danger. They were going to help. The further they got into the mist, Sakura started to panic. She would have wanted to hold Sasuke's arm so he could comfort her, but this was a mission and she knew that he would never do that. Yet as she turned towards Naruto, his peculiar eyes always surprising her. "Don't worry," he said. "Everything's gonna be just fine." She felt reassured by his words. Naruto was a very nice person. He should have been in the academy from day one. Kakashi was constantly monitoring what Naruto was capable of. His speed was far above Genin level. So was his physical strength as well. Able to produce light photons from his hands to stun and send enemies flying. But those were low-rank enemies. The true test was still there to see what he was fully capable of. Kakashi did not doubt that there was some reassurance in his power, the reason for his overwhelming confidence. And it was about to show as Zabuza Momochi arrived. He put the fear of God into all of them except for one. Even Kakashi was concerned not for himself though, but for his team. It got so bad that Sasuke was almost thinking of ending it all. The others were worse off, barely able to think. In the middle of it all though, Naruto closed both of his eyes. Unlike before when the darkness took over, this time it was a light. A radiant glow started to spread from his body. Not only did it destroy all the mist in the air, the pressure was gone. Zabuza frowned, noticing the lack of fear in that one. He was about to change that as he appeared right between all of them, blade ready to slice them all in half. Everyone was stunned, but he was surprised when Naruto's eyes met his gaze. What the hell kind of eyes were that? Naruto held his hand out, right towards Zabuza's stomach. The pulse slammed into him, throwing him back. He had closed his eyes in the exact moment. The moment he saw the light started to emerge. It did affect his vision. After all, the light was insanely fast. As Kakashi appeared and stabbed through him, it revealed to be a water clone. The real one appeared. The battle led Kakashi towards the water, where he was trapped in a prison. He told them to run away, as Zabuza created two water clones. The clones could not go far. He told them to get out of here immediately. But Team 7 refused to run. One of the first things he taught them was to not leave your comrades behind. Tazuna was terrified even though these kids were strong. That man was an adult, a very scary one. As Naruto looked towards Tazuna, "You've entrusted us to protect you. You've entrusted us with your life. It is not something that we take lightly," said Naruto. "I promise you, there's nothing to worry about." Somehow his words were affecting people in strange ways. Was it the sheer confidence that he gave off? Was it the fact that he wasn't afraid? That he stared death in the face and he did not blink? Zabuza. He was curious. What's up with that brat, he said. He even spoke to Kakashi despite the situation. Kakashi himself even felt it from here. Zabuza felt their fear vanish away. The oppressing aura that he had out was gone. They weren't afraid anymore, despite the grave threat that he possessed. In the trees, Haku, Zabuza's accomplice, was watching very carefully. This one is special. Listen to me, said Naruto, as both members turned towards him. The next moment, Naruto stepped forward. You think we're afraid of a bunch of clones? One hit, and they will dispel. Ah, a brave little soldier, Zabuza said. It's kids like you that die early. Well, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, said Naruto. In fact, the next moment Naruto stood between them. Zabuza saw it. That was known as flash step. A short, blinding movement technique that lets him appear a few feet away instantly. It is great for close range dodges. As Naruto stood between them, they both bring their blade down. They slammed their blade into the earth as Naruto was in mid-air. He had jumped, dodging their strikes. Take him down, Zabuza said. The clones did not hesitate. They turned though to see a massive fireball coming towards them. They both jumped apart. However, when they landed, the shadow beneath the trees rushed out and tore through them. Zabuza cursed as he saw the kunais. He jumped away. It was Sakura. I did it, she said. Their plan worked perfectly. Kakashi was free as he stood up. Thank you all, he said. Now, it's my turn. Time skip. Zabuza was safe. At first they thought that he was dead, but no. He was saved by an accomplice. Kakashi was tired as he was going to get some rest, but before that happened he had a question for Naruto. You knew, didn't you? He said, looking towards the boy. Knew about what? That he was still alive. I saw that look on your face. It was as if you already know what was going on. Kakashi said, looking towards him. Yes, I did. Why didn't you say anything? I also knew that there was someone there in the trees watching. Kakashi was confused. The reason I did not say anything was simple. Attacking them would mean going after them. What if they were to attack immediately and our plan of freeing you fail? They might use one of the others as hostage or go after the bridge builder. I weighed the options in my mind. It was greater to simply pretend like they weren't there. Besides, I can already understand the relationship. Zabuza is the leader through and through. This person is just a follower, told to stay in place, and they did. Kakashi was taken aback by Naruto's response. Sorry, I know that you're the sensei and all. I tend to get a bit overestimating in these things. My mind just works in a strange way, said Naruto. No, you actually did great. Keeping your teammates and the client in mind. Choosing, even if the mission failed, your team and the client will be safe. That's good, said Kakashi, as it brought back a memory from his own past. You've been monitoring me, haven't you? Kakashi paused here and that. Don't worry, I understand. I can tell that even the Hokage is a bit afraid. I sometimes even scare myself. Why would you say that, said Kakashi. There are things I still don't know about myself yet. I'm strong. Far too strong than I should be. And I'm only getting stronger. And with that come complications. What kind of complications? Complications to control myself, said Naruto. I'm trusting you as my sensei to tell you this. But I'm working on it. And you don't have to worry. Team 7 nor the village will never be in danger because of me. That's a promise I make to you right here and now. Kakashi watched Naruto. Is that the reason why you're so overconfident? Why you never seem to be afraid even when the others are? I suppose. Or another reason is I'm just not afraid. That sense that people get, fear. I don't really feel that. I'm not sure why. Naruto said leaving the room. Talking to Naruto was not like talking to a child. He was different in every single way. When it came to training, it was surprising that Naruto already knew how to walk on trees. It was effortless to him. Given the amount of control he had over his own abilities, chakra control came easy to him. The shocking part about it was just how much chakra Naruto had. But Hiruzen was right. All of Naruto's abilities doesn't have everything to do with chakra, which was odd. Naruto went for a walk. He strolled by a house as he saw something. The window was broken but partially covered up, but he could see through the parchment. There was a father, a wife, 2 children. The young girl asked her father where was his meal. He told her that he already ate. He just got so hungry, so he ate off all his already. As he chuckled, the children thought none of it, but he saw the look in the wife's eyes. He excused himself. The man came outside where there was a bucket with water. His stomach was grumbling, yet he drank the water as much as he could to ease his stomach. He was shocked when he saw Naruto there, as Naruto almost gave him a heart attack. You scared me. Wait, you're one of those ninjas coming to help. You're a good father, Naruto suddenly said. Thank you, the man said, unaware that Naruto saw. Naruto looked at him. The man was starting to worry, as Naruto was, well, people that weren't used to his eyes get nervous in the first sight of him. But Naruto smiled as he walked away. He knew that people here were suffering, but this was more worse than he thought. To think, one man did this, a man with no power, just money. Naruto found that pathetic. A man that could control others because of the amount of money he possessed. Naruto calmly walked into the shadows as voices started to plague him. Why don't we go after him ourselves and have some fun? That was not the Nine Tails. Naruto has spoken to the Nine Tails before. Whatever this was, it was something much darker. He was the only one that could hear it from what he knew when it spoke to him within the shadows. Naruto gazed as he saw eyes reflecting back towards him. He could see the lining of the eyes, but they were pitch black, as he could see a silhouette, but not exactly what it truly was. Most times I disagree with you, but you're right. But he will come to us. Oh, and what then? I suppose the people do deserve some justice, Naruto said, his tone rather calm. Time skip. Naruto was the only one left behind. Whatever he did the night before tired him out. Team 7 was here for a week now. As Naruto woke up and got himself ready, they did not need his help. Moving in 2-man team, besides it was good that someone was here to protect the family just in case. However, today was a day. Naruto stepped outside. Is that really how low you gone? Threaten a kid. Hurt his mother in front of him. Man, you people are scum. Shut up, you brat. One of the 2 bandits spoke to him. Naruto looked towards Iniri and Tsunami. Close your eyes, he said. Iniri. The first when he met Naruto, he was angry. However, on one single day, Naruto's words were able to change him. A boy that thought there was no hope was willing to sacrifice his life for his mother without hesitation. They did as they were told. The so-called thugs believed in that nothing would happen. Tsunami felt the grip that held her release as a scream. A loud scream ripped through the area from both men. None of them dare open their eyes. It's okay now. When they did, Naruto was standing there. The bandits were nowhere to be seen. Naruto placed a hand on Iniri's head. It's alright. There's no need to cry. But Iniri was in full tears. I'm gonna go and help your grandfather and make sure everyone is safe, Naruto said, moving towards the bridge. However, Iniri had an idea for the people. As Naruto arrived to the bridge, Sakura, she breathed a sigh of relief, telling him everything that happened while he wasn't here. Naruto saw the massive structure. He met someone in the forest. He wasn't an idiot, he knew, but he never said anything. This person weren't so dark as he thought. Naruto stepped towards the ice dome. Seems like you're having some trouble. Sasuke blinked. Even Haku was surprised. How did he? You idiot. You should have stayed outside, Sasuke said. No, we're both trapped. Don't worry. You've done enough, said Naruto. I mean, look at you. You look like a porcupine. Despite the seriousness of the situation, Naruto laughed. As he then spoke up, Haku, that's enough. You know who that is, Sasuke said. Yes, I met him in the forest. So you knew, Haku said. Yes, said Naruto. I'm gonna give you one chance to stop this. For you to realize that you're on the wrong side. There is no wrong or right side. Just my mission, Haku said. Do you know that your so-called mission is contributing to thousands of people suffering? You speak with this gentle tone. You have a soft heart, and yet you're willing to condemn so many to a life that you seem to have hated. I could see it in your eyes when we met. You understand suffering. Don't allow these people to suffer anymore. Haku was silent for a moment, but his resolve came back. You are right. I am on the wrong side. But there's no turning back for me now. I've made my choice. More needles appeared. Sasuke was too tired. However, Naruto grabbed him. Naruto stepped in front of him and held his hand out. Solar Dome, he said. Every single needle was blocked as a light dome appeared around them, golden. Haku attacks could not get through. He stopped, realizing he was just wasting his chakra. Naruto released the dome. Sasuke felt some of his energy returning back to him at the contact that he made with Naruto. As Naruto was healing Sasuke, the needles falling out of his skin. His Sharingan on full display. Haku emerged, intent on using his speed to take them out. He blitzed at Naruto, trying to paralyze him as he struck him in the chest, but Naruto blocked his arm. Every single move that Haku threw, Naruto blocked all of them. It was like he could see the future, or he was simply much faster. Naruto raised his hand to Haku's face. 2 fingers, bam! A pulse of light shattered the mask in 2, throwing Haku back in the process. Naruto grabbed his arm and threw him through one of his own mirrors. The problem was this mirror was supposed to suck him in. But somehow Naruto stopped that from happening and hit him so hard against it that it shattered. All of them started to weaken due to his control and chakra slipping. However, Haku was not done yet. Senbons dropped from his sleeve as he jammed them in Naruto's arm. He flipped over Naruto and kicked at the back of his knee. He then twirled and spun around, placing Senbons at Naruto's throat. It's over, he said. You're right, it is. 5 Naruto surrounded him. What the? Boom! The Naruto in the center exploded. It was pure light energy. As the others imploded at the same time, all of the force kept Haku on the middle. He was on the ground bleeding by the end of it, unable to see a single thing. Naruto stepped towards him. Sasuke was left, gasping. The efficiency. How quick it was done. Was Naruto that much stronger than him? He thought to himself. Naruto leaned down. Don't worry, it's not permanent. But given the amount, you're going to be without sight for some time, Naruto said as he started to mend Haku wounds. Why? I tried to kill you. Even when you could have. Well, you couldn't have, but when you thought you could have, you didn't want to. Naruto said, resting him against the grill, binding his hands. As he looked towards Sasuke. I can end this without the bloodshed. We have no reason to kill them, said Naruto. They're the enemy, Sasuke said. Yes, I know that. But not all enemies deserve to die. Stay with Sakura and Tazuna. Naruto had simply mended enough of Haku wounds so he wouldn't bleed out. But that didn't mean that he could move at the moment, not to mention without his sight. Things were bad. Over to the other side, bloodlust was reeking. As the two monsters clashed against each other. Blade versus kunai. Duty versus authority. They clashed against each other, trying their best to outdo the other. There seemed to be a balance between their strength at the moment, until Zabuza got past him. He arrived behind Kakashi, intending on cutting him down to size. Kakashi would have turned, but he would have still been wounded. But Zabuza's blade met a shield. A dome surrounding Kakashi, even surprising the copy ninja. What the hell? The dome rapidly expanded, slamming into Zabuza. It knocked him back enough for Naruto to be behind him. Naruto pressed his hand against his back. Zabuza released a scream as a photon energy ripped into him, launched him towards the copy ninja. Kakashi outstretched his arm. Zabuza's body was flipped several times as he slammed face first into the bridge. You're here, Kakashi said, sounding relief as he looked at Naruto. The others are just fine. The other one is subdued. Zabuza picked himself up. Even after that, he's still standing. He's really resilient, isn't he? Kirin ninjas are known for their durability, especially those from the 7 Ninja Swordsmen. They can take a stab or two. You're right about that. That is why this isn't over yet. Tell me, brat, where is Haku? Don't worry, he's not dead. I know that you care for him. So why don't we stop this? So we can handle the true threat. What? I'm talking about that. That is when Gato and his men arrived. All of them. The army was large. Gato stepped on the bridge. Zabuza was confused. What the hell are you doing here? Well, I've been thinking about it. And I realized the amount of money that I was offering you, I can simply pay my boys here to finish the job when you're, well, all washed up. You conniving traitor. Traitor? This is the world that we live in. Protect your back or it will get stabbed. Gato said. He had a rather large pride and a rather big mouth for his short stature. So, said Naruto stepping forward, you're the one that has been putting these people through hell. Yeah? And what of it? I've been looking forward to meeting you. Hey, Sensei, you might want to document this, said Naruto. As Naruto was not pleased to how calm he seemed to be, they did not feel how truly angry he was about the entire situation as he saw the people and that family suffering. All the band started to laugh, Gato telling them to cut this little brat down. That was when Zabuza saw it. What the hell? A large amount of shadows start to rise from everything and everywhere. The place became dark. The amount of shadow that was on the ground, it started to affect the very space around them. What is this? Zabuza looked at Naruto. Surprise. How is he? The fact that Zabuza was not feeling rage from this boy, and yet, whatever this technique is, it seemed to tie in with some emotion because he wielded no hand sign. That was truly concerning. Very much so, Zabuza thought to himself. The shadow started to leech itself upon Naruto. The darkness of his eyes took over. Both of them became soulless, lifeless, pitch black. As Naruto reached down into it, it swam across his hand, infecting him like some virus. The moment that happened, they started to feel it. It felt wrong. It felt something wrong and nasty. It felt unbearable. It did not smell, but it had this stench about it. A stench that you can taste. Something wasn't right. Zabuza backed away, having seen many things in his life, but this was not one of them. Gato started to step back. What the hell is... Hey there. Naruto was behind him, standing in front of all the thugs. Why do you seem so afraid? Naruto said, picking him up with one arm. Gato felt like wetting himself, not understanding how the boy got behind him. Fear paralyzing him right there and then. Don't you worry. It won't be quick for you. Well, I suppose you should be concerned. Kill him! Gato said to his man. One of them did not hesitate as he drew his blade. It tore through Naruto's back. Kakashi's eyes went wide, unable to make it in time. However, Naruto started to laugh. He threw Gato towards Kakashi and Zabuza. Do not kill him, said Naruto, as he looked at Zabuza. Naruto then turned the sword, still sticking out of him. He pulled it out, but the blade was no longer the same. The blade itself was covered in shadows. There was no hesitation. There was no empathy. Naruto simply struck. The raw brutality shocked everyone. 15 of the thugs fell. One slice did not stop at one person. It tore through them like hot butter through a knife. Naruto smiled as he witnessed the carnage. Kakashi saw it. That look in his eyes. He felt the bloodlust, as Naruto's strength seemed to have grown into unbelievable range. Gato was absolutely terrified. His man believing that their numbers would save them. Thus they move in. Kakashi tried to engage, but Naruto stopped him. No. You don't want to get caught up in this. They're mine. Why don't you go ahead? They must be tasty, Naruto said, speaking to himself. His own shadow erupted. Thousands of hands emerged. These thugs were not strong enough or fast enough to evade them. Multiple of them were grabbed, 2 or 3 hands. Naruto's shadow was like an unending abyss. It swallowed. It pulled them down into nothingness. The few that remained started to run, but Naruto appeared at the end of the bridge. Did I say you could leave? He questioned. He still held the blade in his hand as he plunged it into the bridge. The same blade erupted over a dozen times in a shadowy length form. It tore through them from the center going up. Scream. Terrified, some jumped off the edge. But Naruto wouldn't allow it. He swung the blade. A wave of what seemed to be leeching shadows emerged. It did not only cut, it tore into them, seeming to destroy, not just cut. He was killing every one of them. As one lay on the ground, bleeding from a stab through the leg, Naruto crushed his skull with a step. The lack of empathy, the lack of reasoning, the empty cold look in his eyes. Kakashi saw it. Even Gato seemed to be unfamiliar with his surroundings as he was so terrified he couldn't move. Naruto stepped through his own shadow and appeared behind them, picking Gato up. Come on, let's have a little chat. He was gone. So was Gato. The people arrived. Iniri had gathered them all. Everyone was there with all sorts of weapons, but it was over. Confused they were. Seconds turned into minutes. Zabuza declared that he was no longer their enemy. Kakashi did not move, not knowing if Naruto was coming back right here. As he moved towards his team, Zabuza unbound Haku. As Zabuza looked at the remaining team, they seemed normal enough, but whatever that kid was, he was definitely not normal. Naruto arrived. He was not alone though. He did carry Gato back. But when his shadow expanded, it was just as Hiruzen said. Things started to emerge from his shadow. Naruto had made its way, by Gato's word, towards his, location that he was staying in. He told him that he would let him go. You said you wouldn't bring me back here. Why are we here? I lied. Isn't that what you do? The people you don't give a damn about. The people you've already decided to kill. Gato started to scream and beg. I have more, he begged. There was a lot there. All that he has taken from these people. And some more. As Naruto raised them into the sky. Naruto looked as a copy of him emerged beside Iniri. The copy covered his eyes. The world is wicked, he whispered. Keep some of your childlike imagination. He raised Gato in the air. The shadows came out like hands. Gato screamed. It shook the people. They watched as the hands ripped into him. They did not just rip into him, they ripped him apart. They pulled him apart until there was nothing left. Naruto's body was covered in blood. As he was looking up directly at it, smiling as he did, some even got into his mouth. The look on his face. Sakura and Sasuke. They stepped away from him. They were afraid. The fact that he did not care. But then he do after covering Iniri's eyes. Something was wrong. Gato was nothing. He was nothing more. Zabuza and Haku watching the scene, terrified of what they were witnessing. They've seen gore, but there was just something about this. The shadow proceeded to swallow the blood off him. As Naruto's eye returned back to one light, one dark. He calmed himself down. The shadow seemed to fold into his, but his shadow did not grow in density or strength. It simply returned back to normal. Naruto took a breath. He couldn't access what he wanted to do while he was still half light. But whenever he tapped into the dark, he was not the same. It's alright. Everything is fine now, Naruto spoke out. Your people are finally free. Naruto said, stepping forward. I'm sure some of this belongs to you too, for your mission here. Gato was gone, and he did have payment for them. Zabuza did not hesitate to take what belongs to them. He looked at Naruto, Haku, never knowing that he was talking to something so he couldn't even describe it. They got out of there immediately. The people came down. It was to share between them. Naruto saw the father once again. Thank you, the man said. As I said, you're a good father. Iniri, hearing the screams but not seeing what was done, jumped into Naruto's arms. hugging him with tears of joy, thanking him over and over again as Naruto smiled. When they got back to the house, "I know you two are curious," asks. "What the hell was that?" Sakura said. He had to die," said Naruto. "That man was a monster. The only way to get rid of a monster is to change them, or turn into a more bigger and deadlier monster, so I did. When it comes to being a ninja, you have to do all sorts of things. Isn't that right, Kakashi?" "I mean, Sensei," said Naruto. "Yes, it is." "Don't be afraid of me," said Naruto, moving the hair out of her face. "I would never hurt you, or anyone within Konoha. Besides, you're not just my teammate, you're my friend." As he said that, both of his eyes started to glow light. She felt warm, even Sasuke as well. Naruto was seen as their shining hero, his name on the bridge. They praised the ground that he walked on. Not only did he restore a lot of their wealth, he saved them. As the bridge was constructed, his name plastered on it, his name etched in their records. They would never forget about him. Time skip. "I told you that. You didn't have to use that," Hiruzen said, fully aware that Naruto could tap directly into the darkness of his kekkei genkai. "He deserved it," said Naruto. "I couldn't have punished him without entering that state." "I'm sure Kakashi told you that. I was in full control. He also told me you spoke to someone. Are you hearing voices again?" "I was talking to myself." "Do not lie to me." "I'm not lying to you." "Can't you tell?" Hiruzen snarled at that. Naruto knew that his face was uncommon, especially when you were trying to tell if he was lying or not. Hiruzen took him by his word though. All of this was simply out of concern. "I know that you're worried, but I'm in perfect control," said Naruto. Later that night, Naruto was awakened to his room being pitch black. "What is this?" he said. "Finally. Now that we're out in the world, you can show them what you're capable of. I've never had this experience before. It's new." "Yes, this is new. We can connect on a deeper sense." "Connect with you, Shadow?" "Yes. Then again, I'm not really Shadow." "Then what are you?" said Naruto. "You will learn my history soon, but we are connected more than you know." "Oh? And how is that?" "Open your eyes," the voice said as Naruto did. The moment he did, Naruto noticed that his shadow was retracting. The shadow was getting out of control and consuming everything, but the moment he opened his eyes, the light flickered once again, as the shadow had snuffed it out. Naruto looked around. Just as he told the copy ninja his powers was getting stronger, it was the more he used them. He was afraid of himself. And that was the strange part. Naruto was afraid of nothing except himself, which was odd to say. As time passed by, Team 7 went on several more missions. They did not get to witness that form of Naruto again. They did get to see just how powerful he was though, as he faced off against Suyen, a man that drank a water that quadrupled his chakra, and yet, even then Naruto bested him. Kakashi did not train Naruto because there wasn't much that he could train him with. Not even his fighting style, because Naruto's style moved with the light and the shadows. Sasuke watched Naruto training to see it. Everything seemed to be mostly mental with him, a bit of physical, but it all seemed to have to do with his control. Sasuke had watched from the trees as he saw Naruto. The forest was black, despite it being bright day. The animals that were consumed by the shadow. Sasuke saw something odd with them. The light in their eyes seemed to vanish away as they started to move strange. When Naruto sucked it back in and the light exploded outwards, peace seemed to return. Sasuke was watching him very careful as he saw Naruto brought his hand up. An orb of shadows twists with an orb of light. They started to merge until the shadow got out of control and started to swallow it. The light emerged and erased the both of them. Naruto seemed to be upset by his progress. Sasuke made his way off, intrigued by his strange ability. Wanting to know the full range of his strength. They've sparred on several occasions now. The fact that Sasuke hasn't won a single one of them should be sending him over the moon, and yet, for some reason he wasn't that angry. Maybe it was Naruto. He wasn't cocky to them. He wasn't showing off as Sasuke would have. He wasn't arrogant, he was just cool. Yes, he was. As time went on, Naruto had met a lot more of the people, becoming friends with many of them. As the Chunin exams came around, the exams to test them against others, the exams to see what they were capable of. However, that is where the problem started. Time skip in the forest of death. "You're not supposed to be here," said Naruto. Sasuke had just scorched the face of the kunoichi that came to attack them, but it turns out that it wasn't a kunoichi, it was a man. Not just any man though. It was Orochimaru of the Sannin. A very dangerous individual. Orochimaru seemed amused. Because Naruto wasn't afraid. Even after hitting them with so much bloodlust, he seemed just fine. Naruto's eyes turned into the light. The both of them this time. He started to float into the air, shocking his team by that. "You can fly?" Sakura said, but it seems he was mostly hovering though. Naruto knew that this man was dangerous. Hiruzen and him had talked often. He knew who this was. "Light release. Solar rain," said Naruto. The sky itself seemed to glow as an orb appeared above Naruto, formed by his own energy. It started to bombard the entire area with scorching blades of light that struck down. Orochimaru turned his lower half into a snake, slipping around and dodging, when one of them burned directly through his hand. He was stunned, as Naruto was using a considerable amount of power, and there was a lot of them. Orochimaru saw that a few were stronger than most. A few were just pale imitation to the real ones. He drew for the Kusanagi blade and sent his chakra through it. The blade shoot towards Naruto, but Naruto reached out and formed a blade, concentrated by light, twisting together. He slammed it with the Kusanagi blade. The force was cancelled. The chakra extending Orochimaru's blade stopped. The blade that Naruto was holding did not break, despite the force Orochimaru had used. He pulled it back. As the both of them looked at each other, Naruto appeared behind him and swung. The Sannin flipped and turned and brought his blade down. Naruto blasted with his photon ray. Orochimaru twists, lashing out his tongue as he grabbed the hilt and swung the blade. Naruto ducked as it sliced off a few strands of his hair. However, as he ducked, Orochimaru kicked him in the face. Naruto was sent through the foliage. The Sannin appeared behind him, stopping him with one single hand. He slammed Naruto into the ground. As he talked, I must say, I'm impressed. Not many child could perfectively use their chakra this way. "Tell me, boy, who exactly are you?" Orochimaru said. He had no idea who was this Naruto Uzumaki. From what he knew, all Uzumaki should be dead. Not to mention this child did not possess any of the characteristics that the so-called Uzumaki should have. And what was up with those unusual eyes? However, as Naruto pulled himself up, "Thanks for the breather," he said. "I understand now." "What is it that you understand?" "You recover fast. So simply slicing you apart will not work. But I am glad though. You've separated us from my team. Not to say they were holding me back, but I simply couldn't do this if I was around them." "What are you talking of?" A massive explosion of light. Trees were eviscerated. Landscape was reduced to nothing. Sakura and Sasuke were shocked as they witnessed from afar, chasing towards the scene where they had to suddenly stop as they saw the devastation, as they saw the destruction plague the land. Unable to believe what they saw, Orochimaru fled into the foliage, but he wasn't the same anymore. His right arm, his right leg were gone. His body was scorched. He summoned a snake and crawled into its mouth. It took him away. He had to go 100% to get away. His instincts had kicked in at the last moment. He pushed off the moment Naruto finished speaking, and he escaped. That damn body of his, but he will learn that not even that will save him. The Sannin was taken outside of Konoha. The snake spat him up. However, as he lay there, he tried to mend his wounds. Something was wrong though. His healing had reduced to a crawl. This was no mere light. Orochimaru realized his goal to mark the Uchiha was stopped by a child. A single second of delay, another second of hesitation, and his body would have been erased. What the hell? Who was that boy? Meanwhile, Sakura and Sasuke found Naruto. However, Naruto could not move. "Stay back," he said, stopping them. When he used up his light energy like that, the darkness tended to take over. Naruto sat as he meditated, calming his mind. Without the light, the darkness tended to go wild. Sakura and Sasuke started to see the shadows moving. "It's alright, Naruto, it's over," Sakura said. "You don't have to fight anymore, calm down," she told him. Her words soothed him. He relaxed his mind. He relaxed his thoughts. "Enough," he said to himself. But he wasn't talking to them. The light returned back in his eyes, but it was dim. He used up too much energy. If they weren't here and Orochimaru decided to strike, he would have been dead. The technique was a last resort, to use against extremely powerful enemies, but even then the Sannin escaped. Naruto had to say he was impressed. The man was faster than he thought. Then again, Naruto doubted that any of his abilities or any of his techniques were anywhere close to full potential. While he had evidence of this, he knew that as well. That voice, it told him. It told him how special he was. It told him that he's simply tapping into a pinch of what he truly was, what he would truly become. And Naruto believed it. He had to rest. He lay within the sun, relaxing. It wasn't the sun that entirely fueled him, but not all of his, abilities had to do with chakra that was established from day one. Sasuke was there for backup. Questioning Naruto on what happened after they separated, Naruto told him the truth. Sasuke realized that he was the one behind the explosion, questioning what kind of power is that, and why haven't he seen it before? "Well, if you were too close, you would have gotten hurt," said Naruto. "And you're my friend. I'd rather not hurt you," he said, smiling at Sasuke's stupid question. The Uchiha brushed it off rather quickly. The team was found by Team 10. What's wrong with him? Ino said. Oh, don't worry. I'm fine. Especially now that you are here, Naruto said, making her blush. He smiled when he saw that as he closed his eyes. Shikamaru noticing the destruction. As the team had picked up on that, they came to, well, do their research, knowing to stay away from whoever that was. After all, they might accidentally come around them into the forest, so they wanted to see with their own eyes from a far distance. Surprised to see that it was one of their own. Team 7 already had their scroll, before they were rudely interrupted by Orochimaru. So there was no need to stay around here, and Team 10 had their scroll as well. They were just trying to figure out a safe way to get the hell out of here. Why don't we team up together, said Naruto. With that, the teams made their way off. Naruto more considerably weak in this moment, not wanting to lose control, as he preferred not to fight. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was able to get back to his lab. Took him some time, but he was able to get back. As he was there, he was angry. He had to go the external route, pills and drugs, as he watched muscles, tissues, everything returning. But even then Orochimaru could feel it, the scars beneath the skin. How was these scars branded in him? He could feel the sensation of pain, a numbing blindness. His interest was starting to twist towards his boy. Orochimaru then recalled something that he came across some time ago. He went back to his studies. He had found it in Konoha before he had left. Actually, Konoha had found it, but then he was a part of Konoha research study. Orochimaru went back. Ah yes, the man's name was Kaido. A Uzumaki that was trying to make his clan stronger. Orochimaru had remembered reading something about this as he found something that he had taken. At the time, he had took any valuable information from the Uzumakis before he fled the village. After all, their Fuinjutsu was godlike. The man that wanted to control light and shadows themselves, believing that with that they could control the world. Enemies could not walk in the day nor in the night. Orochimaru believed it to be a foolish dream, believing that something like that was impossible. But this boy, his name was Naruto Uzumaki. Could it be? There was no records on what happened to Kaido, or where he was. This boy, how was he connected to him? What was truly going on here? His lack of branding the Uchiha was still on his mind, but his interest was peaking on this one, and he wanted to find out. No, he must find out. Back at Konoha, in the tower, Naruto was asleep. This time he woke up. Once again he was in the dark, but this time things were more visible. Something spoke in front of him. Ah, you're awake. Is this because I've used up so much light energy? More or less. The deeper you go, the more access we have. We, said Naruto. Yes, there is more than one of us. However, we do all have the same goal. We do all share the same goal to bring. Whatever it was, pause. As someone else stepped out. The voice sounds so similar, but Naruto could hear something more humanoid in this one. As a man emerged from the shadows, he had long red hair. He was smiling. Dark eyes, with a tiny little purple at the side, which was strange. Hello there, he said. Who are you? Naruto questioned. I am Kaido Uzumaki. But I'm more than that to you. What do you mean? I'm your grandfather. My what? But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification they posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.